Something weird is going on. Okay, going back. No. What is the answer? Jesus, just tell me how to fix the concept, man. Like a robust correction. Merely fixing the concept may not be sufficient. Because the standard inserter has a parameter specifically matching unique pointer. TD, while the debug overload accepts a generic type T. The standard overload can remain more specialized. A dedicated overload would be more reliable. That works. So now it prints the whole thing. So the first item has a default shrink weight. That looks like the static members. It generates print members that print the static const reference const expression values. Ridiculous, of course. This is the only data I'm really interested in. Layout items is part of not really no. Yeah, this one. Can you see those things are static in here? For example, which one was static? The default shrink weight. I have no idea. I don't see it mentioned at all. The default pattern, default minimum width, type name in kind member scope. Scope kind, nah. There's a static here, it's just a part of the pattern. Properties. Static inline, maybe. It's not enabled. It adds it. Fields C++ properties. And then we can test it. Kind is member. Not a static member. Write a complete test. Wyman, how do you learn to code fast? Explain. I taught myself. I taught myself from from manuals, I think. I'm trying to remember which came first. My discovery of a TRS-80 shop, or my dad buying a die. I think the TRS-80 shop came first, actually. I absolutely cannot remember how I got into that, but there was some shop in the city and they sold the TRS-80 computers aimed at companies, obviously. And then they had a room full of those things where they would give lectures to teach employees of a company how to use those things, I guess. But when there was no lecture going on, then the guy that was running the shop, was not the owner, he would just let kids come in and use the computers. And I'm still amazed. I think he must have liked kids a lot. And I was 12, so that's what I did. I just came in and saw the computer and wanted to play with it, and it was okay, so I did. And I started coding. And later my dad did a course from Teliak, it's in German, a Dutch television thing there where you give courses that came together with broadcast on television. Also for his job, if you ask. He was a programmer. So he bought that second hand. And I wrote with pen on paper a program that would calculate the first prime numbers under 256. And then he went to, I don't know, 100 kilometers away to buy the computer second-hand, I think, from some guy. And while he was chatting with the guy, I typed in my program and it worked immediately. And I thought it was normal. Yeah, that was fun. It's like probably the last program ever that worked immediately. And I was using the sieve of Eratosthenes, but I didn't know that. I had invented it myself. So how did I learn coding? I don't know. I just could code. But maybe not for everyone, because I also always got 10 out of 10 for every math and physics test without doing anything. I was just sitting in the classroom, looking out the window, or making drawings or thinking about complex stuff. And every half an hour, I would look 10 seconds at the blackboard, and that was enough. So no homework required at all. It's too simple. So with a mind like that, I guess programming also came naturally. Richard. Okay, I think it fixed this problem in the meantime. So I run make and Linux. So I want to call it in here. To even clean it up itself, or did I do that? Quit. Yeah. I want to just quit. I think. Quit. I do want to regenerate it though. Yeah. And then have a look at it again. Yeah, now it's gone. Very good. Compile it again. Run it. cut, debug out. Way better, cleaned up. The static members have been removed. So we have something that is has a priority of 1 first. The weight is always 1. I don't use the weight at the moment. Minimum width, this thing is 3. That is the default, but that's also what I want. And we align this left. Oh, the last one must be aligned to right. I think the rest is correct. And then we have the next thing, that is the spacer. There's a priority of 0. Weight, it doesn't matter. Minimum width is 1. I don't want to remove all spaces. Alignment doesn't matter for spaces. And then we get the priority 2 for the last thing, which is a paragraph. And that is also a minimum width. Yeah, that must be aligned right. Let's see how we can get that in. So you have this, and I want to add an alignment that to the right. For the last thing, that would be the shortcuts here. I think so. The text span has a create here, and then we can pass properties, which I'm currently using the default of because I don't think I was passing anything. I'm not passing anything, so let's pass something, and then apparently that default is already correct. I'll just type icon type properties. So priority 0. No, I want a priority of oh, wait a minute. This is text. No, the priority. This is the priority. This is just the text that we insert. Ah, does that thing not need something as well? Oh, what? It's a text span that we insert in the paragraph. I guess we don't really care about properties there. Okay, so not passing anything here. And here we have priority, and then a bit lower we have the alignment. And I should set that to alignment right. So that goes here then. Yeah, dot alignment. Horizontal alignment. Did you mean horizontal alignment? Oh, wait a minute. Error. Horizontal alignment has not been declared. That's strange. Why would that be? Oh, Euro terminal. Horizontal. I would say that should be part of any of these. I don't want to. No, I'm not gonna do that separately. Passing this to paragraph create. So paragraph should already define it. For example, the paragraph. How do you say that? Has a properties. I think it should just go with the properties. Where do we get my properties from? From the layout item, which I include here. So in the end, we include LayoutItem.h, which has a properties, which has an horizontal alignment in it. And that's included here. In other words, if I include LayoutItem.h, then we have horizontal alignment.h. Maybe it's just a missing namespace. It's not a missing namespace. No, that's very weird. We should have horizontal alignment if we have properties. And we have properties because I'm literally creating one. Maybe typo then. Let's highlight the thing. They look all the same. Typo here, also not. Oh, terminal is missing. Ugh, of course. The error. Normally it says, did you mean? But that's all. Shush. Index 09. Cut. Okay, now alignment is right here. So now we have all the good information here. And then the next thing is, I suppose, to write the code that negotiates the width. So I come with a total width, and then I ask. Well, they have to figure out how much width each of these elements gets. How does that work? Can do this in debug output again. Display it. It is easier said than done. Let me think. Displaying an horizontal layout. I think I need to create an object, a temporary object, exclusively required or needed for the rendering of the text. And that then happens every time you resize the window, or resize the horizontal layout. And in the end, I can only print characters to my terminal. That is a class called character. So I need to convert the whole thing into a standard vector of a character. And then I can print it to a terminal. And I already have that class that is called a row text, I think. Text row then. Text row. Text row exists as a vector of text span view. Which is a view into a text span, which is not necessarily what I have. No, absolutely not, because it can even include paragraphs. This is purely for text span. Plus, there is no vector character here. I think the text span view itself. This is what we need though. Character meta. I separated them. So you have a white string and a vector of character meta. These two as a combination are required. And then in this case we have a sort of a parent where the stuff comes from, which points and which we also have a pointer to. But that's a text span in this case, and we will not have that in our new case. But I do need this. Or a list of these pair, a list of a pair of these things. If I would just have this pair per item, per layout item, that would be fine, of course. That's probably even more logical. But, well, I have a list of the layout items, so if each layout item would be able to produce a pair like this. But I have to take care that that doesn't, that I don't call that more than once, because it's probably CPU intensive. Yeah, you could say at some point I want to write to my terminal and then I call it on the first item. That gives me something and I immediately write it. And then I call it on the second item and I immediately write that and so on. That would work, except for the fact that those things can be multi-line. And then of course it doesn't work anymore. Suppose this is the whole thing. Well, let's say this is one line that you want to print. And this is one item, and then we have a spacer, and then we have the third item. And what I could do is generate the temporary object for this item, layout item, print it, then generate the temporary object of, you know, a white string and a standard vector of characters, character metadata, and then print that, and then finally I would generate the temporary object for this item and print that. And that is sequential and that works. However, if the whole thing is actually this, and my first call produces this, it's a bad example, but it could be, you know, this multi-line. Then I would only print the first line of the first item, and then the first line of the second item and the first line of the third item, and then we have to return to the second line of the first item, which means that either I have to call it again, and that I want to avoid that, or you have to store it. So it would generate this text and I have to store it. And then just print the first line, then generate this, and then just print the first line, and then generate this, and then just print the first line, and then not generate anything, but just print the second line of each, etc. That is not logical. I think I would rather just generate this, store it, generate this, store it, generate this, store it, and then print it. In other words, we need to store a multi-line thing per item, possibly a multi-line thing per item. So it is a vector, a temporary object is a vector of a pair of a white string and a standard vector of character metadata. And each item must be able to produce that. Nobody could follow what I said, but okay. To layout item here, and all of those things are layout items. And in the layout item, we need something that returns. Okay, I'll call that rendering or printing. This is going to return a standard vector of a pair character data. So both the white characters plus the metadata. I need a good name for that. You have to wonder, I had a text span view, right? So the text span view already has this pair, so maybe you can replace this whole thing with that new clause and then give it a good name. Let's see how pairish they are. Pairish. This thing has its own accessor, separate tester, one of the elements. Meta also an accessor. You can just make one accessor for the pair and then call the accessors for each on that pair. This is not the problem. And then here we have update of the value. I forgot the name of the other one. White characters. Oh, white characters is the same. Characters metadata. So they're totally a pair here. They are both updated. First the metadata and then the white characters. Yeah. Can also search for this one though. That's just the empty test. Yeah, this accessor-ish thing. Still strange though. Well, oh, it's a U8 string view. I was confused with the white characters. Yes. Yeah, okay. Yeah, it doesn't really call for making this a separate object, the pair of that. But in the end, it might help, maybe. So you cannot, this is not a member function that only works on that pair. It also uses the text span. Appending would be or is just appending. Yes, I don't know, man. I don't think I have a class characters anymore. So that would be a good name. Yeah, that would be a good name. I don't have characters anymore. Yeah, let's call it characters. I don't know what do you think is. Well, let's leave that. I was looking at the bottom. Characters, okay, and that has in it standard wide string. Which are just the characters. It's a bit, yeah. It's the thing is already called characters, and then I have a member characters. We call it WHARS. It's a brief. I hate abbreviations, but somehow that doesn't look too bad. I called that characters meta. I kind of do want to remove it here. Yeah, white character is also not a bad name. Just use that here. So yeah, I'm going to have characters. And then I replace this with characters. Which then means that I'll probably want to move character meta in here as well. So this should be moved. In here. And I probably need to be able to access that. It's just a definition anyway, so I'll make that public. And then we need the header for this thing, opt out. And I get, I think I get the standard size type from the W string anyway. So let's include the string for the W string, and we also need the vector. Which means I don't need these anymore in the other one, because I'm going to include characters.h. Can jump there like that. Yes, well, we need accessors. These things are private, so let's add accessors for it. I can just copy that. It's not longer a view though. Yeah. Maybe I should do this differently. This one is called characters meta, and this really returns the wide characters just. And now we have a class character, so it sounds like you get the whole thing, but you only get the wide characters as a wide string. So if this is called characters meta instead of meta characters, it doesn't has the right sound to it. I'm gonna call this characters and then the wide part of it. And then instead of calling it like that, I might as well call characters dot wide, if you get what I mean. In other words, this thing should be called wide and this thing should be called meta. Let's go give them those names. So this, I'm gonna call this wide and meta, called on characters. So that still reads like characters wide or characters meta, and we get that back. But yeah, that also, I mean, it doesn't look nice. I want to have always the same name, so I just delete the characters here. Now I made that choice. And then nothing to jump to the other file anymore. Except like that. So accessors, I'm just gonna add an access for the characters. Const reference characters. Const return characters. And then we don't have this anymore. Empty, however, checks. No, it's just characters empty. So we need still another one called empty in characters for that. Which it was checking white characters. Okay, well, let's use the same thing, although it should not matter. Oops. Which line are we on? What do you mean, Mr. Prodigy? Line 34. You can see here which line we are on. Okay. Yeah, well, I broke enough, I think. Let's fix it first now. Trying to compile. There's no member named characters meta. So I change this into text pen view. So now has a characters dot meta. I don't know. Give me the next compiler. Dot meta. Characters has no data. Characters used to be that was the white characters. You have to call white and then data. And this is characters meta was not declared. You want to reserve that stuff. You cannot reserve it because it's now hidden in. This is the constructor. It constructs an empty stuff and then reserves it. Kind of makes sense. Already have my text pen size, why not? This is a reference to that. Textpen.text. Might as well do the reserve on this line. So the textpen underscore is above it. So let's do characters. Textpen size. And I don't have to do this anymore. Which means we've passed the size type to the characters underscore, remember? AKA characters, AKA I need to run ctags. I don't know what the name is. I mean, we want to call reserve, but what is that normally called? It's standard string reserve. Probably just n or something boring like that. Standard string reserve. N. De. So I want to reserve. Yeah, n is not going to cut it. I want to reserve the white string. Reserve. Let's call that. Damn it. What is a good variable name here? Something like that. I have it written in the description of the video what I'm doing. Ish. TextSpan text. I bet that was never the intention as well. Oh, what the hell did that? What's that doing there? No matching function for call to our terminal user interface, terminal characters, character default, constructor. Indeed, because now you have to pass a reserve. Let's add a reserve of 0. Construct an empty text bin view. Why would I do that? To assign to it later? Assign or to use the copy constructor or something like that? Because this completely kills my... No, it's just empty. It's just nothing. Probably never used I never used this constructor. I assume you are allowed to call this was 0. Oh yeah, it's even the default. Until 0 was 20. We don't have a default anymore. Okay, what does that mean? It's anyway one. Inform the standard basic string object of a planned change in size so that it can manage the storage allocation appropriately. If new cap is greater than the current capacity, new storage is allocated and capacity is made equal or greater than new cap. Well, if you pass 0, that's not the case. So it's probably a no op, which is what I want. Has no effect. Passing 0 is fine. C++, 31 years now. Or is it 32? Yeah, I was compiling here, but. Is the member named characters meta? Did you mean characters? It is how it is. We have a lot of those though. A lot of those. And. Might as well. All of it is end. Prefix is something else, of course. The source end was a lot of those. Let's make a copy of it. Do that, except this is then the end, and then we're gonna replace that. Well, that doesn't look const. So we just called past accessor. Oh, I have to make this a member function. Assign. What to do? That feels a vector. It's a bit too intrusive, I feel. So I think I should either make it a member function or probably I should make it a member function. But of characters or of characters, yeah, of characters. So I need to combine meta and assign. Assign meta or just overload operator equals. It's a bit weird though, because white character is also being assigned. I could assign it. Could assign these in one line, but then I need something to assign with. Source. Characters made to erase. To end. It erases from the source. Is something wrong with my voice? It's always possible. Testing. Testing 1, 2. I can't hear myself because it's lagging like hell, it seems. Okay, well. Okay, I tested it. I listened to the sound of what YouTube sends back, and it sounds good. So I'm afraid it's on your end. Maybe your video stream is skipping or something. It's a bandwidth problem, probably. If anyone else hears this too, then tell me, and then I'll look into it better. Probably just have to restart the stream then, because I wouldn't know what else to do. It is okay for, okay, Spartan. It's you. Is there a logical way to assign these things at once? What do I have? I have a source begin and prefix end. Which are what? That probably the W string iterator. No, this is the meta. So it's a standard vector something. Standard vector characters meta iterators. Well, those iterators are specific for the container of one of the containers of the pair. So I could at most pass a pair of iterators, or I would just have to work with indices, which makes sense because indices are the same. But yes, I don't know, man. How are those things in parallel? Are they in parallel? Parallel. Are they? Okay, let's see. Prefix size plus prefix size. Totally doing a trick there. Well, already working with index. So this is equal to the number of items. So that's also equal to the difference between the indices of these two things. And then we use that to calculate the end iterator. So this is the canonical value, really, and then this, where this means assign to wide characters begin. Well, this must really be the beginning as well then, and the variable name already says it. Hopefully that is a const, so I can be pretty certain that it is still the beginning. It is const. So we have a const here that is simply the beginning. And of course we have that internally also already. So what I could do is just pass the source and the size. It's a bit of a scary operation because it doesn't feel robust. I can make a mistake and it will still compile. And I'm not sure if we have a test suite for this. Probably not. But if I'm being very careful, then I could be able to pull it off. Yeah, this is new Vim. But if you're in love with my colors, that's custom syntax highlighting. So you'll have to work hard to get it like that as well. Okay, so the objective here is we work with prefix characters only, because characters used to mean wide characters. Sorry, this was characters meta. And we assign to the meta and the wide characters. But now these two are hidden as a pair in characters. And then I want to assign something from source with a given length. Prefix size. So, why not use assign? If that is possible, that would be kind of cool, I think. No, it is not possible. Assign is a big word though. Copy, assign, assign. It's somewhere between assign and a copy. I'm inclined to call it copy. Copy. So we copy from source into characters and well prefix size, which means that the prefix is in the beginning of the source and we copied it. So now characters exist of exactly what we thought was the prefix. And that should replace these two lines. And then we have two more lines here, which erases those from the source. And the source is what is the type of my source? Source is text pen view. Oh, but yeah, I can do also characters. Yeah, of course. Also, we have also characters here. So then this one is going to be source characters again. And then I want to erase the beginning. There's something called remove from start. Is that not an existing term for string views or something like that? No, it's not. String view has remove prefix. Even better. So much better. Remove prefix. Prefix size. Beautiful. Maybe we should call this also prefix. Copy prefix. If I borrow it from here, then I might as well say that's called, I think, substring actually. So yeah, nah. But substring is also in the middle. If you just want to have the beginning, copies characters, copy was destination, so count, pos. It has a pos, but if pos is 0, then it copies from the beginning. So copy was not bad. But and then I tag it with prefix to indicate that the pos is always 0. So these are good names. Now characters itself then must be non-const. So let's add text pen view. What is this? Oh yeah. So I need a non-accessor thingy as well. Those mostly go like a pair then, and if they exist like that, and I sneakily call them accessor anyway, because one of them is an accessor. So since prefix and source are non-const, we now have a non-const reference to characters. And we can write the non-const member functions copy prefix and remove prefix. And I have to add that now to characters. That pause meant that I completely lost my overview. I tried to get it back, but no, it was gone. So they have to add this. Yeah, add this here, and then And then I'll have to start compiling again to see if to get back on track with compile errors. Hopefully this will work then. So I was going to add this is characters, and it just does the return void. Remove prefix void, and it takes the prefix size was a size. I think it was literally size type. I hate size type though, so I want to be sure. It's a standard size type, yeah. Why would I use std in front of it? I never do that. Oh, I do that. I have that here. This is probably AI generated. I guess we should put std in front of it. I'm not super used to that. I'm going to call it size. I don't like the n very much. And still need the type of source. I guess that is another characters, right? And then the first one must replace this. And the second one must replace this. Oops. Okay, now we lost it. Where source is actually the current object. No, source characters is the current object. So this is an erase on meta. Meta, that's the vector. And this is an erase on wide. And source begin is then the begin of the source of meta. Source is the current object, so we do just simply meta dot begin, and then comma size. No, end. Prefix end would be oh. Yeah, I think that was, well, it must just be begin plus size, of course. Is that not an erase where you just pass the size? Intermezzo again. Standard vector. Standard vector erase. Sign. Reserve capacity, insert. Why am I skipping over erase? There is no erase. Yes, erase. Nope, only iterators. Move one element or a whole range. We want to remove from the beginning till, but not including last. Or last sounds like the last one that you want to erase, but I don't believe that. Yeah, see, it's not including last. I'm erasing from meta. This should work, right? It doesn't start erasing before it has calculated these things. And this should be completely equivalent. In other words, white.begin, comma, again, white.begin, plus, oh, it must be pointer div, apparently. Well, might as well make this a pointer div then. No, it's a size. Okay. Static cast it. Yeah, on one hand, I always say every assert must have a comment to explain what you did wrong. But this is so obvious. The only comment I can come up with is don't do this. Don't pass a size that is too large. I'm not going to add that. And then the AI, which I've told to always add a comment above every assert. It will probably see this and then think, oh my god, oh, there's a comment missing. I have to add it. Stupid AI. So you have to spell out, add a comment to every assert that you add. Every new assert that you add. Do not add comments to existing asserts that don't have one. If written by Carlo. Could add as well, of course. If it itself added it and then forgot to add a comment and later it sees that, then it, yeah, well. Or you can say add a comment unless the comment is completely trivial. But yeah, it's very vague. Now, to fix this one, what does this do? Begin, prefix, end. Assign, oh yeah, just make the copy here. We probably have to use assign here. We are in here and we have to assign to meta. And then this must be symmetrical, the other one. Meta assign, and then this must be source begin, obviously. It's the exact same thing actually. Wait a minute, source begin, source begin. Oh. Source meta begin. This is super much like a substring thing. I would rather just assign it. Assign the substring. Or erase. No, it's an. Source meta. Wait, it's not the substring when it is meta. That is only for the wide thing. So this is still assign. No, it's a copy. Do we have to erase this with the thing already empty? I don't know if that copy is copy. I don't know, man. Copy might clear it as well. Let's concentrate on the wide. This is kind of the substring. Yeah, so standard W string. It's just basic string, and then substring. Yeah, there is an assign, but it's not about assign. It's about extracting the substring. So I would rather concentrate on that. Oh, copy. Copy. We can use copy on both, but it's more symmetrical. Copy only takes a pointer. That's kind of lame. No, I don't like that. Substring. Pos count. I did it wrong. Pos must be 0 and count must be the length. I hope somehow that is not necessary. Okay, so standard vector, copy the first size elements. It's like literally copy, isn't it? Standard vector. Can also do a reserve. Clear, insert, erase. Where's my copy, man? Assign. There is no copy or something. Yeah, how lame is this? I'm going to use a sign here as well, just to make it more symmetrical looking. Yeah. Yeah, it's nonsense. Oh, using a standard move here. There's nothing to move here, so it has to be a copy anyway. Do and place back, it's also a copy, but yeah, I don't know. Probably doesn't make any difference if you use a pushback or and place back here. And place back probably uses copy constructor. So you have a meta. Yeah, I don't know. Just use pushback. Might as well pass it directly. I think I did a search and replace or something to end up with the text pen text stuff. Oh, this is the text pen text spin text. Oh, it's like that. Okay, yeah, text pen dot text. And I killed the other line, I think. No, I did not. Well, maybe I did, but still needed. Omit operator characters and y character pointer. What? I 3 none. It compiles. Hallelujah. I do use AI every now and then, by the way, for, you know, tough questions that it can't mess up-ish. And I really have the feeling that it speeds up things. Okay, so this compiled, and now I forgot what I was working on. That is annoying. I think the only thing I just rounded off is creating a characters thingy. Oh yeah, I think I know what I was doing. I have now a new object, new class, characters, which is a pair of a white string and the metadata of that. And we need a standard vector of this as a temporary object in order to render text. If it compiles, however, and the test suite runs, then maybe I should just commit it first before I continue. Deep print memo coverage, of course, and assert comment source. What? It test set. It's even worse than I expected. Already, I was like, I'm refusing to add a comment here because it's just too trivial. Oops, the test suite fails. Thou shall add comments to every assert. My God. Well, at least it will point out where that was, I suppose. What a mess, man, here. You need a failure here. Fail. These are the missing characters is missing something. Okay. Line 9. Oh boy. You have a custom printer, it says here. Well, maybe we shouldn't. So let's make this an Ava debug print members on. No, well, actually make a copy first. On. And then this has to go to characters, which is currently missing stuff. And then I have to copy the print on I don't think character says A. It doesn't. That's super annoying. Cannot go before the first file. I changed. I removed it from here. So we have a custom print on here. We remove this as well. And then go to the next file and then maybe just inline it here because it didn't look that big. But that would be laziness. Add it here. A bit scary though, because how do I know that characters is not going to include debug.h? Or print members on for that matter. Basically, this is not needed unless it is needed. Let's do it like that. And then this must be characters. And we print. We do not print text spin. Oh, really? That's the only thing it prints. Well, the other one anyway. And now we would print this and this. We can't print. Oh, we can't print that. Oh, of course. Oh, yeah, like that. Yeah, well. Trick. We just don't print it. We print. What? Okay, that's missing. So I have to move something else over. I forgot what it was called. Oh, this one, yeah. I want to do that for the text pen view. Let's do it for the characters only. That's pretty vague. Plus, yeah, I don't know, man. I would only use it to print stuff, and why would I do an automatic conversion if I don't even know what to convert it to then? Oh, we can't do that. Oh, we can't do that. Never mind. That's pure debug. Why would I need that without debug? Where's my print on? This print on. Well, I deleted it, but did I save it? Don't know, it's gone. Too bad. Okay, not totally gone, absolutely gone. And it's gone from which file? Text span view.cxx. Text row text span. Where's my view? There is no text span view.cxx. So then it is probably gone from text span.cxx. There it is, the sneaky bastard. Actually, that it's still here. I'm so confused. The code is still there. This is the whole code. What was I talking about? Oh no, I'm looking at the wrong thing. Yeah, I was looking for the print on. Don't tell me I never defined the print on. We have a custom print on, it said, and then we don't. Oh, here it is. Print on, deleted, and well. Oh, so the print on was doing this. Yeah, that's gone. It's just reusing this, but really it's gone. This is my print on. Okay, let's copy it like that. Printing UH string or not. U8 string view then. No, that should still have found it. In utils, it is hidden in utils. This namespace is used in libcw using ostring preload, which are definitely being used. Is definitely being used. So you'd say that maybe the header is missing or something. Could be kidding me. Is that so? I'm saying nothing. Errors are coming. No, they are not. Okay, cool. That was a missing error then. And now what? I forgot again what I was doing. I have no clue. Wasn't I like compiling it and then that didn't work and then I wanted to run the test suite? Oh, the test suite was failing. Yeah, I remember. Oh, this is the other one that was failing. Assert has no blah blah blah. Compile. 100% compile. I meant successfully end, and it did. 100% test passed. Yeah, everything works. Let's just commit it. Okay, what did you just add here? Generate print members. Thought this, and I thought it has to be added, but I think it has to be added. Had to be added. Oh, this is not the CMake difference, it's just an extra function. Okay. And that tests something related to printing unique pointers. I think only this. That's just that one, which tests horizontal layout and everything, and is not finished yet, really. No, nah. It is also not finished. Is also not finished. Actually, it was a yes, I suppose, because it is related. Okay. I'm not tired, but I don't feel like it anymore. I think that the idea was that I was going to render this thing. I just have to look at the test. On. So I call this new member function. It returns a vector of characters, the same number of characters for each element, which then represent the different terminal rows that we have to render. I need a name of the thing. I probably should wrap the whole standard vector characters in a new class anyway, though. I shall call this. I call it a box. I called it a box before somewhere, but just in comments. I think I had another word for it as well. A better word. What was that word? I discussed this with in AI as well. There must be some class name suggestions. Shrink. Layout item. But these are the fixed things. So I think I picked these, horizontal layout and layout item. But these are before determining how wide they are. And now we create something of which we know how wide it is. So I give it a width actually, and then I generate the characters. And then I could call that a row item, or maybe a flex item, or a box. And I think I like box best actually. Horizontal box would then contain multiple boxes. Why not? Yeah, well, you just need a name. So let's call it a box. And then a box exists of a vector of characters. So this is really a box. It's going to be a box. and then I want to convert the layout item into a box by giving it the width. The name must convey somehow that it is CPU intensive, so maybe generate box. Why not? Generate box int width. And I don't know, width is a bit unclear, right? So I have used cell width a lot. Every time I meant, and then the AI corrected me at some point, so maybe I should rename that. It called it more terminal column width, within terminal columns. I could call it just a column. So the columns. Yeah, cell width sounds wrong even. It's like the width of a cell. Maybe we should replace cell width everywhere with columns. It's clearly terminal column. Whatever other column do we have if we're talking about terminals? I don't think I use this. It's no, suddenly it feels like a very weird. Definitely use this a lot, yes. Does it really mean what I think it means? Yeah, it's a count of terminal cells. Now the good thing is that I just committed everything. It was a completely clean thing. Well, except for that one. But it was just a one liner that I just added. So I can just ask the AI to do something, and if it completely fucks up, then nothing will be lost. And this feels like a good thing for an AI. Please replace all occurrences, I think, of cell width. It should mean count, I think, count of terminal columns. Yeah, that's not going to work. Find symbol cell width. How are you gonna find cell width with find symbol when it is just used as an argument, for example? Apparently cell width is also used outside of terminal. I should have told it probably, you know. Only for code in the terminal directory. But yeah. This is bullshit. So you can just reset it. This is not in the terminal directory. This is don't change it. It was related, I think, to pure terminal namespace. Yeah, text rows, terminal stuff. Let's say when I expected text row of the comment example after wrapping at 9 terminal columns. No, that's cells. It's occupied columns, including trailing white space. And this list of text span views exactly is listed in the comment. Nine terminal columns. So the dubies, of course, if you want absolutely to talk about terminal columns, you could rather speak about occupied terminal columns, but really you are just cell. This thing. But okay, this is not correct, of course. Cell width is nah. So within cells. Yeah, it's no, yeah. Okay, I'll leave it like this. One object for outer row. Oh, yeah. Characters objects. Okay, I wrote it. Still a bit difficult to read, I thought, but I think I just changed this. Nothing to add. Still work in progress. What a sweet comment. Made it a more useful comment. About the rest. Can't say I'm super happy with it, but well, better than it was. Because the cell width was horrible. Yeah. Oh. Yeah, okay. It just screwed up my ASCII art. Yeah, the unit is it's a unit. Columns really. Columns could mean number of columns, but that would be a better word. Width is also a good word. Width in terminal columns. Columns is basically an abbreviation, I think, of number of columns. Let's call this rep2 columns. Idiot. Why is this modified? I restored it. How can it suddenly be modified again? Huh? What? Doors terminal. It's like literally I did this. How did that not restore it? That is the weirdest thing. I do it again and now it is gone. The diff. Possible. I don't get it at all. Scary shit. I need to watch a horror movie now. Already looked at this one. Totally looked at this one. What is this? Don't tell me the AI is adding tabs or something. No, it's not. It's an artifact of the color div, I think. Weird. Oh, the spaces are added because this is shorter. Okay, yeah, the cell width became columns, but we have had to add spaces. Oh, I'm getting it. I'm getting it. Okay. Okay, what the heck? I just never mind. I just edited that to make it compile. Yeah, I'm gonna stop. Tomorrow another day. Actually, it is already tomorrow. It's 1:30 a.m. Isn't that a decent time to stop for a coder who has been coding all day? Ish, yeah, sort of. Good night, people. I think I'm gonna watch for it's a piece of a movie for another half an hour or so. I watch movies in really short pieces these days. So I never watch a movie anymore from beginning to end. I don't know. I started watching a while, and then at some point it just doesn't feel right anymore. I won't say I get scared. Maybe I get just annoyed, or yeah, mostly annoyed. I think annoyed with the characters. They do stupid things, or I don't know. It's like no, I don't want to watch this. The stupidity in movies. It's really. I think it's a lot more than it used to be. How often do I watch a movie and then one of the characters doing something, and the only thing I can think at that moment is, please die soon in this movie. You deserve to die. Yeah. Then another takes their place in stupidity. So, especially horror movies. Seriously. It's like some overly powered enemy that they have to fight, and then by pure sheer luck, let's say someone's home alone and there is a burglar, and the burglar is a strong guy with a gun, and they are chasing the main character, shooting, missing the whole time. So it's a matter of 100% pure luck that they are still alive after 30 seconds. And that goes on for a few minutes. And then with even more luck, they manage to... what is the word in English? Let the burglar trip or something like that. So the burglar falls down and hits his head and lays there dazed for a few seconds. And then what I would do is jump onto the burglar with my knee on their head, take the gun and shoot him in the brain. Yes, so then the danger is gone after that. No, our main characters, as soon as they, by pure luck, manage to daze the burglar, put it, I don't know the English words here. Anyway, they run away. And lo and behold, the gun is still in the hand of the burglar. The burglar regains consciousness, starts chasing again. Really, then I think, oh yeah, you deserve to die. Just get it over with. Just shoot this main character.